What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Spill the Tequila here on the John Rocha channel. Almost forgot that we had the new video. I had to restart the video in the middle of the other video, but we are here, all correct, and we got so much to talk about here. I am John Rocha, joined as always by the king of swag himself, Winston A. Marshall. How are you, Winston?
I'm good, man. I'm losing track of time. I thought it was Monday. I sent somebody a text being like, "Yeah, man, Messi." We have a group chat we've named every single day around shit talking, and it was Messi Mondays, and they go, "Brother, it's Tuesday." I said, "Oh," like I just straight up was confused, and someone was like, "Isn't that better? Doesn't that mean the week is closer to being over?" I was like, "Nah, it's kind of worse because." Now I realized I lost a whole day.
So true.
Like, oh shit!
It means you're a day behind. That's what it means. Exactly. Like you're thinking you're a day closer. We're a day behind. I hear you, man.
Which is funny because I remember watching Monday Night Football, and I know the screening I have to go to today is on a Tuesday, and yet my brain still comprehended this is a Monday. And I think part of it is because my day job, I almost always work Mondays. I didn't work yesterday. I started today. So I think my brain just went to this place of, okay, we're starting the week. Here we go. And then I was like, oh. How are you, man? I never asked you that question. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just busy all the time, working on stuff, catching up on everything. I wish my mind wasn't as interested in so many topics as it is every day. But that's my life every day, just flipping stuff up and reading and catching up on all kinds of stuff. And you know what? That's why I enjoy the show, because this is the one show where we can just talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. But yeah, a good overall, still keeping the weight off, still doing my thing, and still hanging out with the lady Outlaw. And yeah, that's basically it. September begins, man. And the movies finally are starting to ratchet up here, Winston. It was getting a little boring the last few weeks, right? You feel it?
We hit our our summer blockbusters, and then there is always a decline in between that last blockbuster, typically end of July or beginning of August, through kind of August, because it's people going back to school, football starting back up. There's a dead zone of things happening in the entertainment space, whether it be art related or athletically related. So we're back, football back, movies back. Like what we got, The Long Walk about to drop. We got the Paul Thomas Anderson movie about to drop. Obviously Basketball
Machine
around the corner.
The new Smashing Machine trailer dropped today, and it comes out in less than a week, 3 weeks.
It comes out in 3 weeks.
October.
So we're moving, man. And then I hate spooky season, but the closer we get to that, there's gonna be a whole bunch more horror movies and stuff dropping and blah blah blah. So
Halloween Horror Nights is happening in full swing over there at Universal Studios.
Hey, if you want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights, how about the Mavericks, bro?
Hey,
Horror Night come October when basketball starts.
What happened now? Is there something new?
No. I still don't believe in the long-term health of Anthony Davis, and I don't know what Kyrie's knees look like, and Luka is out here looking jacked like he, I don't even know what to put him on. He looks like the slimmer version of what The Rock just did. Like even slimmer, because The Rock looks like cut, and like, you know what? Better yet, our boy Greg Alba, he put his birthday photo up. Luka looks like that. That's crazy.
Greg, you got to slow down.
Why? Because you feel bad.
There's not going to be anything left. At some point, Greg's just going to.
Greg is all muscle now, baby.
Yeah.
All I've ever wanted was abs, Rocha, but he actually did it.
Man, he gets any skinnier, he'll be inside a skeleton, not outside a skeleton. That's a little scary, to be honest. But we're here to talk about all the things going on in the world of entertainment that we want to talk about. And a lot of stuff today is going to be focused on pop culture stories that are happening, including the Phillies Karen stuff, but also what that means, because we're seeing more and more fans starting to cross these lines. We saw the Lamar Jackson push on the fan pushing on Lamar Jackson to Andre Hopkins, and then the reaction to that. We're also going to get into this insane situation going on with this Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein letter, and what that all means, or letters, shall we say, as these the Epstein files some of the Epstein files from the Epstein estate were released today. A lot of conversations being going on around that. And we're going to talk week 1 NFL news, get into a little film and TV news as well as it goes along. But that's our plan here to cover over these next 90 minutes. You guys know how it works. Winston and I rip through these topics, but we can take a lot of time on certain ones. So we may not have time to get your questions if they're later on in the day. So you want to be sending in your super chats and Streamlabs right now. So they are on top of the pile for us to get to before we finish up our 90 minutes for sure. So the Streamlabs address is pinned in the chat description video, and it's right above Winston's head as well. So Winston, let's get into the first thing. Let's not waste any time. Let's go to see about the Phillies Karen and see what's going on here. Let's take a look at this video. This has been chewing up the internet, man. People have a lot of strong opinions over this Karen. Let's make it. Oh, there she is, flicking us off. Hold on, there we go.
She wasn't. Did you really?
Yeah. You see that one? Yeah. So here's what happened: is this gentleman, the ball went into the stands. No one has possession of a ball when it goes into the stands. It clearly bounced off her hands, so she didn't catch it. It's fair game for everybody. You see 4-5 different people, other than the Phillies Karen, there jump in to get the ball. And then he gets the ball. He's a dad. He walks over to his son.
Oh, was it flipped the way I saw it? Because I saw him go in the other direction.
No, yeah, it's flipped probably. Gives it to, and look at that reaction. I mean, let's take a look at that reaction.
She just grabbed him out of nowhere. I was probably shrill, just.
This is Halloween Horror Nights reaction, isn't it? That's what that is right there. Totally afraid. And look, I get it. Someone's screaming, grabbing you like that. You're going to react in a scared moment. You want to watch some funny reactions? Go on TikTok and watch those scare pranks that they do. People react in the strangest ways. And then she's yelling at him, and she's like, "It's my ball." He's like, "What are you talking about? It was all over the way over there. It's fair game." And he's like, "All right, you really want the ball? You want to take it from my kid? It's his birthday. Was the kid's birthday?" Look at the kid being traumatized by this woman yelling at his dad. And then he takes the ball out, gives her the ball, and goes away. A fucking baseball. The level of privilege here you have to be this upset over a baseball that A, isn't yours, B, is fair game, and C, to rip it out of a kid's hands. That's a level of privilege I do not understand. And then I think, can you see that where she's angry? You can see that, right? So then, and here she is flicking people off as well. She flicked people off. Where is it?
They're probably booing her, huh?
Yeah, they were booing her. And then this was her response, the big old flip the bird to them all. So there have been a number of names that have come out. Some woman had to go on a woman had to go on Facebook and say it wasn't me because they had named her, and she said very clearly it wasn't me. There's already some skits popping up around her that have been put on social media. Your thoughts on this madness, Winston, and what happened here?
I mean, look, people acting like assholes, like she didn't say anything racist. She didn't say any, physically attack anybody. I mean, she grabbed him, so that technically could be assault. So there's that. Right. But to me, there is definitely levels to this. And she is a heinous bitch. She can go F herself. The only reason I actually agree with her getting ultimately fired, because she was, is apparently because she is a school administrator.
Yeah.
Which means that her literal job is to support and do things for kids. If that is how you're yelling at a random child that did nothing wrong on their birthday, and a father that, again, did nothing wrong, it is a wild ball, and whoever gets it first, that's their ball unless they decide to turn it over. You didn't have possession of it. He didn't snatch it out of your hand. Right. He didn't slap you and take it. He got there first. You were too slow. If you really are that upset that you didn't get the ball, girl, then start doing like hit training in the park so you're ready to go get the next home run ball that comes and you're fast.
Bring a glove, Winston.
You know what I'm saying? So just by the name, like I think someone doing something like this is not worthy of getting fired on a regular basis. It definitely calls into question her character. But because she works with kids, I actually think that was the correct move by the whatever her employer was, because again, if you are yelling at my child and me as a parent for such a minor effect, what are you actually doing in that school? That terrifies me. I don't want people like that around my kid and determining what my kid's doing, because heaven forbid she actually is. Like, I'm not saying that she is. I don't have any evidence, but heaven forbid she is racist or homophobic or anything like that. And or maybe she's really hard on young ladies and stuff like that. And it's like, well, what were you wearing? Like, what if she's that type of person and you are you were supposed to be molding young minds.
Right.
Even if you're not a teacher directly, you were involved in the school system. So she can go.
Yeah.
Get up there.
Well, the gentleman, Drew Fetwell, that's the name of the gentleman who was in the video here, the dad, Drew Feltwell. He told NBC Philadelphia on Saturday, I pretty much just wanted her to go away. I'm still in disbelief that she walked down there like that. He was visiting from New Jersey. He lives now in West Palm Beach, Florida. So he lives in West Palm Beach, but he's visiting from Jersey. He was there visiting probably his kid, who he took for his birthday to this place. And he was there with his wife and 2 children. The Feltwell family was in the left field stands when the Harrison Bader, the Phillies center fielder, hit the home run there. Several fans, including Feltwell, scrambled to find the ball. He said, I was already ecstatic, like I got Bader's home run ball and I got to put it in my son's glove. Then here she comes. He said she just screamed in my ear, that's my ball, like super loud. I jumped out of my skin. I was like, you're like, why are you here? Go away. And after a brief exchange, he gave her the ball, is what he says. He said, I had a fork in the road. Either do something I was probably going to regret, or be dad and show him how to de-escalate the situation. So that's where I went. I wasn't very happy that we had to give it to her, but we can't win a situation like that. And so pretty amazing stuff to see that reaction in the spur of the moment, to not get into her face and start a whole brawl in the stands. Instead, he ends up trying to de-escalate, telling her to go away. She won't go away, gives her the ball, so she goes away and stops the traumatization of her son having to witness that kind of stuff, which is madness, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I just doing a little bit more digging, it looks like maybe that was a false claim about who was identified there.
Right.
She may not have actually been, but I stand by what I said. If that was the case, then then you clearly have displayed that you shouldn't be working with kids. But it sounds like maybe that was an incorrect report about who this woman is.
Yeah.
But either way, I understand that as a general whole, the world right now, but especially here in America, but the world is on edge, like very, very on edge.
Right.
But I need everybody to take a deep breath, take a step back, and literally think to yourself, if the roles were reversed,
right,
am I actually okay with how someone would be acting as me towards me, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Like if Rocha, you were flipping out at me, for you to take a second and put yourself in my shoes and think, is your response to me appropriate?
Right.
And I think if everybody took that 2 seconds to think about that, a lot of this shit would subside. But I think everybody is so tired, so scared, so frustrated. We are seeing the worst in people. And that's not an excuse for what people are doing. They need to do better.
Right.
But this seems to be happening more than normal. Social media has been around for a while. We've seen people show their ass for a while, but it seems to be going up. And it's not lost on me that while that's happening, people's fear about the economy, people's fear about like healthcare, people's fear about new wars, all the different things that are happening right now. And this weird fear of like, is the American experiment over? Not to go off of a whole on tangent, but like, people we're
getting to that.
People get real hyped up about their sports, for example, because it's the one good thing they have. You say one little bad thing about somebody's favorite artist, their Beyonce's, their Taylor's, their Nicki's, they're ready to slit your throat. Because again, that's the one thing bringing them some sort of joy. And if you interfere with that, you have gone a step too far. But again, take a step back. What's actually happening here?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as I'm thinking it, or do I have rose-colored glasses on of rage?
Yeah.
And that's how I'm responding,
Well, I think it goes both ways. You say like everybody needs to take a deep breath and look at the situation. Maybe they're stressed out about their lives. And that's very fair. The other angle could be that this is the growing privilege that some people feel now because they feel emboldened by a certain administration that's in the White House now, and they feel that they can do whatever they want to whoever they want because they are now co-opting that power for themselves and putting them and being able to yell at people and traumatize. Like, she didn't apologize to the child. Apparently she didn't go back to them and say she was sorry. She happily got that ball, happily flicked people off in the stands. And apparently there's a video out there from behind her when she got back, and she apparently told them that she soiled herself when the ball came at her, so she deserved to get the ball. It's this kind of privilege that I think is an
crazy entitlement, bro. If the ball had smacked you in the eye and you had a black eye, you have an argument to be like, yo, bro.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Do you see my face? Can you give me the ball? Like, I took one literally for the team. Can you please give me the ball? But I got scared and peed a little. I can't control my bladder. I'm incontinent. Give me the ball. Give me that shit. I don't care, you little child. You're going to be 10 and 11 and 12. I want it now. Like that. Like, what are we doing? What are we legitimately doing, bro?
It's true, bro. But I do think there's happy endings here. Let's share this, that Harrison Bader did come out and sign a bat for the kid afterwards because they knew about it. The Phillies people went into the stands and found him because they saw the video, and there he is with his family, the Peltwell family there. They signed the bat for him. So we got way more than a ball for the whole situation, which I think is great. And also the dad, I want to read what the dad said at the end here, because people are threatening to go after this person once they find her, rip the ball away from her in person. And he said, please don't do anything to that lady. That's the dad. He said this, leave it alone. You know, somebody knows her and can talk to her. That's different. But God, I don't want people breaking into their house and stuff like that. The internet already messed her up pretty good. So again, I think these are great words by this guy who's handling this situation at every step of the way in a really good, positive way in how he's doing all of this. He didn't videotape this. He didn't post the video. Like, he was caught in the situation. He de-escalated to show his son, like, don't get involved in fights. You don't need to do this kind of stuff, especially with a woman. And then boom, you know, please don't go after this lady because she's getting destroyed enough. And the other side of it is there is a sports company, Winston, has offered the woman $5,000 for the ball, but only if she signs it with an apology.
I'm sorry, didn't give it to the kid. I think that's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I like that's the thing. I truly feel like because the other video that stuck out to me, and then this is somebody actually having full-on ill will that I saw go viral, was this black kid on TikTok. He's a probably 19, 20, something like that, streaming just nerdy shit like Pokemon cards and like Marvel Rivals, whatever his thing is, right?
Yeah.
And some white dude in the Navy was in his stream in the comments constantly calling him end this and monkey that and all sorts of horrible stuff during his stream.
Wow.
This dude puts out a viral TikTok where he goes, hey, so-and-so that, like, you know, came into my stream. Yeah, I know you actually work in the military. I know that you're actually in the Navy. I actually know that what ship you're on. And he like blanks out. He says it, but he like covers his mouth and blanks out the sound of what it is. He goes, I want you to understand something. Like, you thought you were just going to come in here and do something racist to me, but nah, that's not what's happening. Like, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to end up taking your job.
Wow.
Because I think it's pretty important that the men and women that you serve with, I'm sure a lot of them black, a lot of them of other ethnicities, are aware of the bigot that they're working with.
Right.
So I'm not going to put your name out there. I do know, you know, where you know your mama stay and your sister and your fiance who's pregnant right now. So I'm sure losing your job isn't great, but maybe you'll stop going around just deciding to spew hate everywhere. So people try to be like, oh, so now you're doxing? No. Doxing somebody is taking, yes, public information, but taking it and then putting it on blast for people to go find him. He didn't do any of that. He just let it be known, I know who you are. You will face consequences, and I'm just going to go to your superior. I'm not putting you on blast. The internet can find you.
Right.
Just know it was me. When Cersei ass, it was me. So to me, that is internet justice. It's you don't necessarily need to drag this person's name through the mud, but you are going to make sure that they are damn sure about what like you're not getting away with this. Because I think what it is, the people that are entitled and that act a particular type of way, they expect you to roll over. They literally expect you to bow down to them 100%. And their whims, whether it be someone being like, why you get so upset about the N-word? Like, it's just a word. You're the one that's like, well, but see, you're saying it because you're trying to see if you can get a rise out of me.
Right.
So here's my rise. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to yell, but I will make sure you face consequences.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I like that scene from The Good Fight when Delroy Lindo's like, "Oh, you want to say the word? Say the word."
Say it.
I'll say it. I'll say it with you. I'll say it with you. Love that.
Oh, you guys want to see the video? Hold on. I know where it is. I definitely sent it to some people. So
okay.
like this, I'll pull it up real quick.
All right. So people have been asking about the Edibiri thing. We are going to talk about that next for sure. And I'm going to play that clip and then the ridiculous apology from that far right Italian entertainment reporter.
Did she really apologize? Because it didn't sound like she apologized.
I'm going to put it up. Yeah, we're going to put it up and see if it's an apology or not. Are you finding the video now?
I found it. I am opening it right now.
Okay.
And then, okay. Let me see. I need to screen share.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. And then TikTok and then share the audios tab. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this.
Let's put it up. Let's go.
Okay.
To the white guy that called me slurs over and over again in my live stream the other night for no reason, guess what? You're going to get kicked out of the United States Navy. You know how they tell us that we should be careful what we do on social media because there could be real life consequences? Yes. Hi, my name's Real Life Consequence. I've done a thorough background check, and now I know everything about you. I know what little town in Texas you're from. I know your name, your phone number, your email address. I've seen your disciplinary records. I know the names of all of your family members, including your dead mother and your daughter. Turns 2 next week, and her mother, who's gonna have to pay for all the birthday presents this year because you came into my live stream and saw a black man who was talking about Pokemon cards and video games, and you assumed, yeah, he's not gonna do anything if I call him slurs repeatedly, even though he's trying to help me. Turns out I am gonna do something. Turns out there are so many things I can do because I have all the screenshots, I have all of the recordings. I know that after you left my live stream, you went into someone else's and started talking about how much you love Jesus and God and the Bible. So they that evidence to the church you go to in that little town we both know. Exactly which boat in the Navy you serve on, and I know the names of black sailors that serve on the same boat as you. Maybe I can repeat them as well. But only after I send them to the Naval Inspector General's office because I'm getting you fired. I'm getting you kicked. Navy, there's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no apology I will accept. There is no excuse I will listen to. There is no money you could offer me. You're getting fired. And when you're working the graveyard shift in an Amazon warehouse and your back hurts and your feet hurt and those white bright lights are beating down on you, and the teenager who still has his life ahead of him walks up to you and says, "What are you doing here?" Tell him the truth. Tell him about me.
Damn!
I love this song.
That is a great song.
I also don't know a better use of Meet the Grams, that instrumental, than that. That was top tier.
Yeah.
F you, dog. Like, I absolutely loved everything about it. So Chris Conklin, stop, he's already dead.
Yeah, man. As that is brutal. But that's the difference, right? If you're stupid and you think you have this ability to do these things and this privilege to do these things, there are way more intelligent people now who are going to find you out, who are going to expose you and put you on blast. And there is a great example of it. And that guy's probably shaking in his damn boots.
Dude, the fact that has 8 million likes, I didn't even see how many views, but like 8 million likes of people and all of the comments just, never been prouder of a stranger. They had a picture of Olivia Pope, Kerry Washington, talking about consider it handled. Like they had another Navy man in a uniform, a black Navy man, saying, "We appreciate your service." Like just it was just so beautiful. And that to me is what I am personally looking for going forward. I'm not looking for people to start throwing hands. I'm not looking for people to make death
That's
threats.
what they want. That's what they want.
That's what they want. But this idea of the saying obviously is fuck around and find out, but the idea that your actions have consequences. People have, because of the anonymity of the internet, kept thinking they can just do whatever they want. But people are not actually smart enough to remain anonymous on the internet is the first thing.
Right.
That's ask any woman in this chat, ask your lady, ask my lady. Every woman is an FBI detective, and before they went on a date with us in this modern era, have gone to your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your name it. They have done the work. Okay, they look like Young Thug in that meme where he looks like he's talking to Batman. That literally, they have done the work and they know everything about you. So what makes you think that your ass trolling people however you want with your racism or homophobia or whatever cannot be found? You know what I'm saying? What makes you think that you, in a very public setting, trying to mac on your side piece, ain't gonna potentially get caught on the jumbotron and they ain't gonna find your ass? That is the entitlement that's wild to me.
Right.
You know?
It is. It's crazy. It's either It's either this rich entitlement, like the dude from the Astronomer magazine, or this dumb entitlement, like this woman at the Phillies situation. It's like this level of entitlement. It's growing more. And what did white people say, like under their breath when Obama became president? Oh, shit. Some white people, not all, obviously, but some white people were like, oh, shit. Now black people are going to think like they own this country. They can do whatever they want. I'm afraid. That's exactly what they're doing now, some of them, because of they're borrowing the power of Trump and his administration to throw their privilege around as if white people haven't ruled this country since its inception. It's madness on so many levels. Madness on so many levels.
Look, it doesn't have to get to the violent element like Liam Neeson and Taken, but this idea of you can put it to bed, you know, and that's it. I won't find you. I won't anything. But if you continue this route, I will find you. And I will digitally kill you. I will not physically kill, but I will digitally unalive you.
Unalive you. Yes, exactly. Well, we're not quite done with this section of the show. Let's move on to this, which is really unsettling. Another version of this kind of racism coming from, this time from a reporter in Europe here, who was asking questions about Julia, asking questions about the Black Lives Matter movement, and about what was going on with Me Too and all of that. And so she was asking questions of Ayo Edibiri, or asking questions of Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts. Let's take a look at this, and let me see if I can bring it up, and then we can have a conversation about it. Where is it?
Yeah, for sure.
Here, no, this is the apology. Maybe this is it. I never know which one's the right ones. Sometimes I need to delete something. Is this it? No, this is. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. All right, so here's the video, and you guys can see. Okay, so she asks.
Era, and what we lost during the politically correct era, and what we have to expect in Hollywood after the Me Too.
Now you see Andrew giving the looks, and then he quickly turns to.
That's smart. He knows. Like.
Well, okay.
And look, and Ayo wanted to chime in first, right? And Julia's about to give her the floor, but I think Julia, being a veteran of these junkets, tries to save this reporter.
Okay. Can you repeat that? And I with your sunglasses on, I can't tell which of us you're talking to. So,
right, so she's trying to save her by saying, like, can you repeat yourself? And look at who the fuck you're talking to and who you're directing this question to. That's the hidden thing that she's trying to say by telling her, I can't tell who you're talking to the sunglasses. And so
the question was for Julia and Andrew.
That's it. Just the two white people.
That the Me Too era and the Black Lives Matter are done. What you have to expect in Hollywood, and what
look at Ayo's like shocked.
Correct era.
Well, it's not done.
Sorry, I know that that's not for me, and I don't know if it's purposeful if it's not me, but I
love that. Ayo calling it out.
It's not done.
I don't think it's done at all. I think maybe hashtags might not be used as much, but I do think that there's work being done by activists, by people every day. That's beautiful, important work. That's not finished. That's really, really, really active. For a reason, because this world is really charged. And that work isn't finished at all. Maybe if there's like not mainstream coverage in the way that there might have been daily headlines in the way that it might have been 8 or so years ago, but I don't think that it means that the work is done. That's what I would say.
And that the movements have been halted anyway.
Yes.
The movements are still absolutely alive, as you say, just maybe not as
labeled
or
covered,
or like witnessed as or kind of magnified as much in this present moment.
I mean, that's
you saw what he did, right? Because the question came in, he said, "Are you asking a question about women and black people?" Me, the white man. Nah, ladies, what do you think? I applaud Andrew for that, for understanding. Like, I am aware.
It's an ally move.
It's not to say that what I'm thinking isn't interesting or important, but it's not important comparatively. So I'm gonna be quiet and I will defer to you ladies. And even Julia, because she first used to interview too, and she was like, okay. Then you threw in Black Lives Matter. She's like, okay, so I can address about half of this question. Let me ask you again. Who you got sunglasses on? Who are you talking to? I just want to clarify. I'll just not invisible, right? Y'all, I took my invisibility cloak off. I'm here. I just want to make sure I'm here. Okay. bet. Like, dude.
And then she delivers a wonderful response. And the thing is, that's what's great. Io is one of these people that is unafraid, and she will walk into the fire, no problem. And she's developing a very strong sense of her place in Hollywood. And so for her, I mean, this is a junket with Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield, and she is going to answer this question. And in a way, she might also be kind of saving Julia and Andrew, because if their instinct was just to answer the question, let her answer it as a Black woman to speak about both of these movements, because it applies to her equally. And then Julia and Andrew chime in as allies should, talking about this stuff. And I thought that was genius of Io, and even tries to kind of she even zings her a little bit by saying, I don't know if you didn't mean to address that to me. Yeah, genius. So the reporter is Frederica Polidoro. And of course, she played victim about all of this. Never mind that the question was absolutely a politically charged right-wing question meant to have a gotcha moment at the expense of these Hollywood actors. I don't know how she got approved to be at this junket, but they should fire the person that approved her for being there. But anyway, she said, following an interview, I've been subjected to personal insults and attacks because of a question that for some reason was not well received by some members of the public. I find it striking that those who unjustly accuse me of racism and consider themselves custodians of justice find acceptable violent language, personal attacks, and cyberbullying. Well, no one is condoning that of any real character. We're just calling you out for your bullshit. Own your consequences. She'd like to say, I clarify that rather than focusing on the thoughtful responses of Io Edibiri, Julia Roberts, and Andrew Garfield, the discussion continues solely on how I should have phrased the question. All the contributions from those present were reported in full in the published interview without any omissions. To date, I am not aware of any protocol that dictates the order in which questions must be asked in an interview. Censoring or delegitimizing questions considered uncomfortable does not fall within the practice of democracy. Fuck off. Only the Journalists Association is authorized to evaluate the work of professionals, blah, 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 blah. So this is, and she tries to clarify that she's interviewed people from multiple backgrounds, multi-ethnic, matriarchal, all the
I can't be racist. I'm made up of a million different things. I am also a minority.
I've interviewed Black people. It's like, come on, it's nonsense. She this is the crap that a lot of people pull on the right, is that they ask these questions knowing full well they're trying to get a response that is dangerous for the responder, and that they're trying to get him into a gotcha moment or trap him. And when they get called out, it's like, what about free speech? What about democracy? What about this or that? When the intention was never to be from that place. It was to be from a place of purposeful trying to gotcha them. And it's just ridiculous.
Well, that's funny because a number of things have come out of it. I mean, first of all, it came out that apparently this journalist has been known, like people found posts of hers that she is,
of course,
neo-Nazi. Like she's actually out here in these streets saying some pretty wild shit.
Yep.
But let's just go for a second here, as you know, you more so than me, but both of us as journalists, this idea of, we know very goddamn well that the way in which you position a question, who you're asking the question to, in the setting that you're in, there's a number of different reasons where all of that holds equal weight.
Yeah.
That your words, how you present them, all of that has equal weight. And so this idea, again, you were asking about two movements where only one of the three people on that panel can speak to it from a level of somebody potentially being marginalized. Therefore, those movements exist.
Yeah.
That would that makes more sense. If you had decided to ask Io first and then say, and then continue on, I would also love to know what you think, you know, Julia and Andrew, you know, obviously, how does it affect you as a woman, as a white woman? How does it affect you as a man? Where do you feel like you stand as an out?
100%.
And all of a sudden you sound like you're genuine and you give a shit. Instead, you iced out the one that could speak to all of it from a personal standpoint of how it's affecting her. And then that is literally like bad journalism 101. That is horrible journalism. So to sit here and say, well, none of y'all can judge me, only the Journalist Society. Not really. I mean, that's like saying, well, nobody can judge my acting performance, only other people that are in SAG and on the TV. No, the fuck they can't. People can go, that was a bad performance. You were not good acting in that movie. We all feel that way. like, kiss my ass. You did this because you wanted the general public to see your interview.
Right.
So no, you don't get to pretend like we can't speak on something if you're presenting it to us. You didn't present this to the Journalism Society. You put it out in your outlet, you jackass.
Yep. They found out, as you said, Winston, about her social media activity. She follows Trump. She engages with right-wing accounts and has reposted even Islamophobic content in her past. So there's not this journalistic neutrality and ideological bent to, democracy and free speech and all that nonsense. It's nonsense. It's coded language on purpose. It's coded on purpose. These are actions that all of them are doing in their bullshit way. Jennings does it every night on CNN. He's a fucking clown for the shit he does. And it's just nonsense. And we as a collective have to stop putting up with it. We really do. This is not a matter of like, well, they're allowed to speak. No, destroy verbally, right? Not physically, not in any way, shape, or form, violently, just verbally. Call them out.
That's what I was gonna say. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like you were from a country that also, to my knowledge, I think France allows for freedom.
Italian, yeah.
She's Italian.
Yeah.
I believe for the most part. I know that there's some arguments right now in the UK because I know some comedian said some really heinous shit. About trans women and got arrested for some tweets and stuff like that. I think they're looking at it as a means to trying to rile up a hate crime. So that seems a little more justified as far as that arrest. But I say all that to say you can say what you want. But again, it doesn't mean your freedom of consequences. You didn't get arrested. But people are allowed to tell you what they think about what you decided to say.
Of course. And if you have any remote self-analysis, self-awareness bone in your body, you will take a step back and go, you know what? I really messed up here. People are right to call me out on this. I should address it. But because, of course, she's a hardcore right-winger, she's going to play the victim. That's their default tactic nowadays. And you see that from a lot of people. By the way, she's a Golden Globe voter. So I hope they kick her out of the Golden Globes for this nonsense.
I look, man,
I'll take her.
If I come on here and I say, hey, man, I think the Chiefs are washed after watching that, the Super Bowl and then this week 1 thing. There are going to be some people who are like, yeah, get him. And there's going to be people like, how dare you talk about Lord Mahomes and the dynasty that he has set forth for us in the great city of Kansas. You shall pay for your treachery, you vile villain. That would be fair for them to say that to me because I've decided to intentionally poke the bear on some
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to understand when you say something, people are allowed to respond. I do not agree that jumping to violence is the answer.
Of course not. Never.
But if I want to cuss you out, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's fair. All right, well, let's not move away too much from Trump. Let's get into this for a few minutes, Winston. This dropped the Epstein estate released a bunch of files that they had in their own estate because of the request from Congress here and the letter that our president said he did not write, did not draw, and did not sign was put out there. A number of people are already verifying that it is, including Mary L. Trump, who I think is his aunt or his cousin. And then there was another picture here with people, Epstein and someone connected with Epstein, essentially offering a fully depreciated woman for $22,500. The woman whose face was covered over there and redacted, her lawyer came out and spoke about how she was a young woman in her 20s, was not trafficked, did not have anything to do with it, but is absolutely disgusted that a letter like this was in there. Quite a lot of entries were in these files, this birthday book that was put out there, and all of them are a lot of them rather are joking about Epstein's proclivity for underage girls. It's really unsettling. But the big thing that the right wing is screaming about is that the signature is not Donald Trump's. Yet there's been quite a few examples of it from people who have put out examples of his signature from that time when he was alleged to have written that letter, and they all pretty much match. But of course, the right wing is screaming that they're not, that it's not there or not, and it's been forged somehow. 22 years ago, someone forged this letter, stuck it in the birthday book, hoping that he'd be president for a second time, and that it would bring it out after he got subpoenaed so they could take down Trump. It's just stupid, utterly stupid. Just like the FBI informant shit was stupid. What are your thoughts about this?
For me, the part that's the most interesting, because I believed that, because it was the Times that initially, was it the Times or the Journal that initially reported on this, and he's suing for 10 billion. Which one was it?
It was the Wall Street Journal. He is suing for $10 billion.
10 billion, which is crazy.
Which is ridiculous. Stupid. Never going to happen. Yeah.
The most interesting thing to me is Mike Johnson clearly got into Junior's stash, because when he was calling him an FBI informant, he was acting like he was full on playing in the snow, bro. He just, I understand. Everybody's out here in the streets. Like, what, did you not know that Trump was an FBI informant? He actually was in there. The minute Epstein came into his place, he said, no, you can't be here. You're a bad person. Keep him on Mar-a-Lago. He was an informant. And yet somehow you think that he would do something like that. That's a Democratic hoax. It's a hoax. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, bro, take a fucking breath. Like, at one point, he looked like it was The Office, and it was Michael Scott looking directly into the camera. Like, are they buying it? Like, it was so bad.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. And sadly, these are the people in charge. Like, I don't know what was worse. Mike Johnson doing that, or RFK getting reamed at the Senate hearings. And clearly being called out on all of the straight up lies he told during his confirmation. And when he gets called out about, you've been in the job for 8 months. Why do you not have that? Why wasn't that the first thing then? You could have easily made a statement about that. You could have easily been like, I just got here. And then that would have been oh, that's not good. No, you said it as an inconvenient, as a convenient way to scapegoat yourself from having to take responsibility for you putting millions of people at risk. So circling back to this whole thing, I am not surprised. I always believed it was real. I'm glad that now it was have to be delivered directly from the estate because of Congress, subpoenaing these records and whatnot. Will it do anything?
I don't know.
That I don't know. That I honestly don't know, because I hate calling him Teflon Don, but as much bullshit as he gets around.
Well, it helps when you have a willing party who are willing to cover for you. Byron Donalds came out today and said it's not. He looked at it as not his signature. Tim Burchett came out and said, I've never known him to draw stuff. Never mind that Trump has drawn stuff throughout his entire life and auctioned them off for charity, Foghorn Leghorn. And then the other thing that came out was you had Mike Johnson walking right by Manu Raja, who asked him, and he's doing the whole I'm too busy, I'm looking at my phone thing. And then he says they say it's not real. Who the fuck is they? He won't specify because he's walking fast, doesn't want called on the carpet. And then the White House spokeswoman, Karen Levitt, said they denied everything. This is not his signature. It's all a lie. It's all a hoax and whatever. And then said the Daily Signal or whatever, which is a massive right-wing paper, had forensic analysts who said it wasn't. The thing is that I was watching the Deadline White House today, and they called it out, one of the lawyers on there, and said the Department of Justice has had access to all this information. So they've already been crafting their responses to all of this stuff as it comes out. So you're seeing it now. The responses, they've circled the wagons, as Chris Berman might say about the Buffalo Bills fans, and they are absolutely putting out their narratives to try to stop this. And Trump even said it was a dead issue today when he was asked about it on NBC. So I don't think it's going away.
You don't get to decide. That's the thing that you don't understand. At the end of the day, the one thing that these politicians keep forgetting, but what it takes then is people remembering this. They work for us. Yes, they may be the ones that are putting the laws into place and all that kind of stuff, but they work for us. If you allow them to do whatever they want, they will. But you need to remind them of that. So no, you don't get to decide it's a dead issue. If people are like, no, there is more to this and you need to fess up, then you need to answer for it. Period.
Well, the thing is, whatever your issues are for not wanting Kamala Harris to be president and for not wanting Biden, I think every American has a right to decide who they want to be president. Of course, 100%, whatever your reasons are, whatever your issues are. Some of your issues be suspect? Of course, it's all up into interpretation. That being said, if you really believe in what is happening here, how can your red line not be pedophilia? How can your red line not be that? Like, okay, fine. You know what? He did it. Let's get him out of office. There's still enough people here who are going to push his agenda and they'll be fine. I think what was it Massey, the representative for the Republican representative who's pushing this stuff? Massey said like a lot of these Republican representatives have said to him off record that they are absolutely disgusted by the fact that they have to defend what they see as pedophilia, but they're afraid of the Trump political machine. And that's the hidden truth, is the people here know they have a powerful machine in Trump. The voters who really want to put the worst elements of his plan in place know they have a thing with Trump, and they're going to defend that because they know once he's gone, there's no way anyone else is going to be able to step up in the void and have the same kind of effect that Trump is. And they're afraid that they'll lose all these quote unquote gains that they've had. And it's truly scary because, I mean, this is I've said this for 10 years now. I think we're getting closer and closer to a civil war, and it really scares me because him marching those troops into the cities, that's him trying it out.
That's really bad. He even said, talking about going to war with the city of Chicago. That's a quote that he actually said before he tried to walk it back, but then he's back on doing that. But let alone you put all of that together.
Yeah.
And it's just this random idea of, I don't understand the hypocrisy. If, let's say, the one reason you said, well, I went for him no matter what, because I just feel like, economically, like, I agree with Doge. We need to make cuts. We need to spend less. Okay, but then you sign a bill that is proven to spend what, 7-10 trillion more dollars.
Yeah.
You're whatever the, maybe it's like 3 trillion over 10 years, whatever the number is, it's in the trillions.
Right.
Let alone this ridiculous, this absolutely ridiculous decision to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War, which is now wasting 9 figures, hundreds of millions of dollars to essentially go back and change all the letterhead, change signs all over the building, press releases, website, all of that. 9 figures to rename it the Department of War. And on top of that, he said he was going to be the president of peace, that he no longer wanted us to get into unnecessary wars. And yet you are changing the name to then tell people outside of this country that we actually are back in the mindset of being an aggressor. Yeah. Like, literally think about the hypocrisy that's being presented. And you're like, it's fine. You're just a snowflake. What? Like, it just said stop spending money, and he just wasted 9 figures.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
If I have to side with someone like Nick Fuentes, I know we're in the upside down, man. Fuentes came out and absolutely skewered Trump and skewered MAGA. He said, like, how can you people, my people, say, in essence, said this, like, how can you guys be okay with all of this? And he goes, and now they want you to believe he's an undercover cop. They think you're stupid. He literally said all of this. I couldn't believe that I was siding with, or I thought his points of views made sense. Even Megyn Kelly, who I absolutely abhor, said that it is unconstitutional for Trump to be using the military to go into the city. So there are people even high up in the MAGA scale of power who are calling this out. Now, Charlie Kirk isn't, neither is Tim Pool. He's a moron. Like, they're not doing it. But there are people on that side who are calling this nonsense out. And I unfortunately, there's not an election until 2026, which I know he's going to try to shut down and control.
There he is. That's what the redistricting is. He got to it early. He was smart because he lost the last midterms in the middle of his first.
He knows.
Election. So he knew that he had to do something, and therefore went and got one of his little puppets to go and redistrict like crazy and set off a chain reaction, which again, then you're looking at more hypocrisy of, Democrats going, well, we can't keep fighting fire by watching the house burn down. We need to do something. So when they counter with essentially the same thing, but do it in an actually more constitutional way, because like California, for example, it is now put on a measure for the state to vote over. The people. Unlike Texas, who just decided, we made the decision, it's redistricted. These 5 districts are essentially going to go red now. Go screw yourself.
We're forcing you to do it. Exactly.
At the bare minimum, if they had done something along the lines of putting it on a ballot so that the people of the state could vote on it, there would at least be some more legitimacy there, but they didn't do that. So the idea to not call a spade and go, oh, the Dems are doing whatever, bro, they did that shit first. And to not go, oh, okay, you have a point, but to go, no, stop worrying about your team. This isn't the NFL. This is the goddamn country and the world that we're living in. And the more you decide to make this about your team, instead of using the same energy and real common sense and arguments, you are dooming us all because you want to be right instead of opening your goddamn eyes.
Well, I think their eyes are open. I just think they don't want to do it.
It's open, but they definitely have them red ass glasses on, and every red flag, every flag looks red, so none of them are.
Yeah, exactly. People, I don't know. I've seen them go, well, what if Clinton's in the book? And it's like, good. If Clinton's in the book, get him out. Put him in jail.
I don't. Okay, and
no Democrat worth their salt gives a shit about what other Democrats are in there because A, they're not president, and B, the Democrats will go, hell yeah, throw them in jail. We had no problem with it. So that's the difference there, man. So yeah, the entire public policy of in response to all this stuff from their side of things is always it's fake. That's their response, which is it's a child.
It's hilarious, but I know where it comes from. Remember, what is the thing he promised them all the time? We're gonna do so much winning. Yeah. We're gonna win so much. We're gonna be tired of winning. It's that is what they care about. They care about winning. They don't actually care about doing what's right. They care about winning. That's it. And look, man,
meanwhile,
I've watched
families are going broke. Yeah.
Huh?
Meanwhile, families are going broke. People are losing jobs. Jobs are not being added. The numbers they promised. Prices are going up. It's a madhouse out there.
The number, like I was talking to some friends in a text chat about this because, like, hold on, let me pull the thing really fast. But what the Supreme Court agrees to review Trump's sprawling tariffs.
Yes,
and someone brought up the idea of how TikTok's been inundated with, and so is Instagram, with reels of farmers talking about how the generational farmers are starting to lose their farms due to the tariffs because their operations are not profitable anymore. That, like, you're having people who this farm has been in their family for generations, like multiple generations. And like the son now, this woman is saying, like, my son will be the first one to not continue the family business. They cannot afford it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I'm just like, there's an empathetic side of me that obviously feels bad seeing any human kind of suffer. There is also the part of me that knows that this means bad things for us and what the cost of food will be and how I am also going to suffer.
Right.
But my black petty ass is kind of like, you have pushed so hard for this.
Yeah.
This is what you kept saying you wanted. And now that you got it, you don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Like that part of me is just sitting back and sipping the tequila because I'm just like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. What do you think was going to happen? All right. Well, regretfully, we have to move on from this subject and move on to something a little more brighter because we don't want to leave it in a sad place. Let's move on to the NFL, brother. Week 1 in the NFL. So much to talk about. So much happened in this week 1. You had the Chiefs losing to the Chargers on Friday night. The Ravens collapsed to the Bills in one of the most amazing games of the weekend, maybe ever. Which included a fan pushing Lamar and Lamar pushing that fan down. And that fan has subsequently been banned indefinitely from all Bills games and from the NFL as a whole, any stadium as a whole. I don't know if the video is true, but there's a video of him wearing a neck brace apologizing for the situation, which I'm going to find and play.
No way.
And kickers as well, causing some problems for their teams. Winston, what's the big stuff coming out of the NFL this weekend? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, look, we were the Cowboys-Eagles game was after I saw El Boogie wanted to try and troll me. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, it's what every Cowboy fan said. Why would you say the one person that can actually get to the quarterback as a generational pass rush talent? The only reason Jalen was able to do what he did clearly is because nobody of Micah's caliber was there to stop him. And Jalen looked fantastic. You know who did not look fantastic? The rest of the Eagles. Jalen literally put the team on his back. And will they be a playoff team and be high seeded? Sure.
Yeah.
They've got too much talent and stuff like that. I'm gonna say it right now. They're not getting back to the Super Bowl. That was enough for me to look at and go, oh, no. You took a step back, man. You let too many people go on the defense. It speaks to both Dak being as good as people said. Obviously, the moment is how does he do in the big moments, like the playoff games and stuff like that. But doing what he needed to do, this team is going to have a pretty strong offense.
Yeah.
But I still think we probably missed the playoffs. I can be honest about that.
Your Cowboys?
Yeah.
I thought your Cowboys played well, bro. I think you guys have a real shot.
They played really well. And I think that there are some holes on some other teams we thought were going to be powerhouses that are going to take giant step backs as well. Like, I believe we play the Lions. I'm not worried about the Lions.
No, you shouldn't worry about the Lions.
Like, losing both coordinators clearly made them unravel. So
100%.
I'm not worried about them. but I just don't think that I'm going to need to see a lot change from Philly between now and the playoffs to feel confident at all that they're going to do anything. I think the scariest team in the NFC by far is the Packers.
Yeah, I said that.
That was terrifying to see Jordan playing well and then Micah being unleashed and seemed to be playing happy.
Yes.
And like just going off, bro. The Packers look terrifying. And I think that I stick with my pick. I think that the Bucks will go to the Super Bowl. I think it'll be the Bucks and the Packers in the NFC Championship game. Baker Mayfield genuinely is better than we realized, and he handled business. Got the new kid involved.
Yep.
Rallied back on Atlanta.
Beautiful throw for that touchdown.
Crazy.
At the end. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. So I think that is going to be the two out of the NFC, and then it looks like same different day in the AFC. And maybe I've got to take my step back on the Bills, man. Why were you able to allow the Ravens to abuse you for that long? It speaks to Josh Allen's ability to make shit happen.
That's true.
I actually think that their defense is worse than it was last year. And
possible.
so now it's going to put more on Josh to get there. I'm not saying Josh doesn't have the sauce to do it, but if the goal is to win a title, your team should be getting better, not worse. You know what I'm saying?
I will push back on you on this one. The other ones, I think your assessments are correct, although I think it's going to be Packers and Skins in the NFC Championship, or Commander, sorry. Maybe Terry Bradshaw for a second. The AFC side of things, I think the Bills, I think you're when you're playing a team like the Ravens with Lamar and Derrick Henry, like the fact that you were able to eke that game out, I think speaks volumes about you as a team. Now, I hear you about the defense, but it is Lamar. It is Zay Flowers. They've got DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry. This is not a team with like no power, no weapons. They have a lot of weapons. So, yes, I think this was a lot of points to surrender at home opening week. But I think they're going to do a lot better defensively against teams that aren't as stacked or loaded as the Ravens. And arguably, that may be the AFC Championship is the Ravens versus Bills, possibly when it's all said and done in a rematch, bro.
It'll be interesting, but like again, I think that there's a number of teams we have. Like now, I need to see more out of Daniel Jones than playing a very bad Dolphins team.
I agree with you. People are going way too crazy about that.
But if the Colts put together a string of games and Daniel Jones really just needs to get out of a dumpster fire that is New York and actually can put something together, there's a decent amount of talent there.
Yeah.
And they seem to be rolling that the Colts could be a thing. We'll see what happens. But like
the Broncos game is going to be a good barometer for where they're at right now.
Well, because that was the thing. The defense was good. I am concerned now that Bo Nix has fully gone backwards. That was really bad.
That was rough. I'm not going to let you right.
Really bad. So but all being said, like it's interesting to me. I hear you with the Bills, but again, like the Cowboys offense got better, but our defense got worse. How much better are we going to be moving forward? I feel the same way about the Bills. The Bills offense got better, but your defense got worse. So what happens if like Joey B kind of had a little bit of a shaky game, but they did finally win a week 1 game. The last time they won week 1, they went to the Super Bowl. Like, is this the year that they finally got their act together?
Yeah.
Again, are the Colts actually good? The Aaron Rodgers apparently went into the Lazarus pit, with Rashad Ghul and out here just turning entire games around, putting like 3-4 touchdown strings in a row in the last like quarter and a half. Like there's a number of killers in the AFC that the Bills are going to have to not allow people to abuse them for 3 quarters.
I'm really excited because there aren't that many bad teams. In years past, Winston, there's like 8 to 9, 10 bad teams. There's not that many bad teams in the NFL right now. So every game can be exciting. Certainly the Steelers-Jets game is proof of that. The Steelers defense, you have to ask questions of the Steelers. If you're allowing that many points to a Justin Fields-led freaking Jets offense, that's a problem. That is a problem. Or it could be that Justin Fields has finally found the right home for him with the Jets, and they're going to surprise some people, get some victories, and make some noise this season. We'll see. But Rodgers did look good. I just think if you're asking Rodgers to constantly be the guy that bails you out, much more than Josh Allen, he is way too old to keep doing it at this pace, and he's eventually going to get swallowed up by this whole thing and turn on the Steelers.
Fully agree. I would need to see proof that Aaron Rodgers could do that continuously over and over. Like we've seen now as LeBron is nearing his end of his career. LeBron can still drop 40 on you. LeBron can't do that every night like he could in his prime.
Right.
LeBron can do that maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is Aaron Rodgers able to do that every Sunday, or can he do that once a month?
Right.
Like that's the question, because once a month ain't gonna cut it.
Right.
You kind of need him to be able to do that 75% of the time if you're gonna pull this off. And that's a tall order. But I push back on you saying there were no bad games.
I said there's not a lot of bad teams.
Oh, teams.
Yeah,
Okay.
teams.
Okay.
There are a few, but they're not a lot like in years past, which I think
there are more than we realize.
How many do you think there are? I think there's maybe 4.
I'm really concerned that the Lions are bad now.
Oh,
I'm very concerned that we have done the complete flip-flop yet again, where all of a sudden it was like, hey, it's always the Packers and the Bears, or the Packers and the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit, here comes the Lions and whatnot. And then we thought for a second, okay, well, it's the Lions and the Bears. Nope, they both got, at least the Lions got a couple years out of it. The Bears got 3 quarters and then got done the business. I guess. Miami is terrible.
Here, that's what I'm saying. Here are the bad teams. I think in my opinion, Dolphins are bad. I think the Giants are bad, but it depends on how Jackson Dart plays when he starts, which would be very soon, because Russell is not going to be able to do it. I don't know if I buy you on Detroit, but we'll see. I think Cleveland is bad, but only they're going to be saved by their defense if they win any games this year.
The Patriots.
Carolina is bad for sure. Carolina is bad. And that's maybe you know what?
Patriots are bad.
I guess the
Patriots are bad, dude. They are definitely bad. And I will say this: the Niners are most likely going to be bad. You just had way too many injuries just pile up in game 1.
Kittle's out for weeks.
Kittle's on IR. Jawan Jennings, whatever he's dealing with now. McCaffrey was going into that game questionable, so he played. But he did off of 22 carries, only 69 yards. Like,
and Brock is hurt, and Brock Purdy is hurt too.
And Brock was good in the first drive, and Brock was good in the last drive. Every drive in between, I actually saw the numbers on First Things First, was terrible.
It was bad.
So, like, I don't think that the Niners just got a good one off of the Seahawks, which I think, who knows where they are. Yeah. And it was week 1, and you're dealing with a new quarterback. You're dealing with a new coordinator.
New head coach.
The head coach was there last year.
Was he? I thought it was Pete Carroll last year, wasn't it?
No. Pete took a year sabbatical. He left.
Okay. My bad.
Donald guy took over last year.
Okay.
But they shipped everybody out. You got rid of Geno. You traded away DK. You let Tyler Lockett go. So the only people you essentially kept on the offense like that were Walker, Charbonnet, and Njemba.
Charbonnet.
And then you're right. But then you brought in Cooper Kupp, who knows if he has anything left in the you tried to replace DK Metcalf with Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Which is Cooper Kupp that won a Super Bowl, sure. But we saw the last 2 years that is not the Cooper Kupp that is playing right now.
That's true. Yeah.
So, you know, and I don't trust the Rams either. A lot of talent there, but like, bro, Matt Stafford's back again. How good truly is Devontae Adams at this particular stage? Like, he had 4 for 51. That's genuinely not bad, but he was 50% on his catches. He was 8 targets, only 4 catches. So like, a lot of talent on a lot of these teams, but between injuries and new players and new situations or new coaches or whatever, there's a lot of people that I got big ass question marks about.
That's fair. There's not a lot of teams that I don't want to watch. Like, I don't want to watch the Giants, but I'll watch the Panthers because I want to see if Bryce Young, I want to see if last season those like 5 or 6 games were an anomaly or can he carry them over? So I'm excited to see that. Jacksonville, I'm excited to see because I want to see if this new coach will snap Trevor Lawrence and the team like out of their doldrums and get something out of them. Cleveland's a team I don't want to watch. I have no interest in Cleveland. No offense to Flacco there. But I will say last night, the Bears and Vikings, I want to see how these teams play. I love that JJ showed moxie in that second half and led the team back and won the game. I have questions about Caleb and his throwing. I have questions of Caleb and his accuracy. So,
I mean, when Caleb was cooking, bro. And then I think what it is for him, and you said this years ago, and I thought you were being rough on the
14
kid, but maybe you saw something that I didn't see.
Mm.
I worry about his resolve because
I don't think he has.
the minute things started going sideways, he started to shrink.
Bro,
You
hate
could
me all
see
you
the
want.
worry on his face.
I said it in our show, hate me all you want, and I totally get it because usually I'm on the other side of issues like this. But if you're running into the stands to cry with your mom after and I don't think you have the resolve to be an NFL quarterback. I just don't. Hate me all you want, call me whatever name you want. I just don't think that's the actions of a strong NFL quarterback who can handle when things are going bad. And you're right, Caleb shrank in that game when the Vikings were coming back. And I'm going to tell you this. People are going to hate me saying this too. I think Lamar has an element of it. Lamar has an element of it. I mean, it's not a coincidence that he is constantly on the wrong side of these big games. And it's just, there's something about it.
It's a little different, and only because of this. I actually am getting more worried about John than I am about
Harbaugh.
Yep.
Harbaugh?
Yep. I'm more worried about him for one reason only. He's really always been more defensive minded.
Yeah.
And people have said a million times, you're in a shootout. You're dealing with arguably the only quarterback in this league that you would say that there's only 3 that you would look at and go, okay, I'm going up against them and it's a shootout now.
Right.
That you don't hand them the ball. Yeah. Why did you punt? Your offense is the star of your team right now. Your defense is okay. Your offense is fantastic.
Yep.
Why did you punt the ball and let Josh Allen go, thanks, and go win the game? Let your star do it. I know Derrick Henry just fumbled. Slap him, give him some Gatorade and say, carry that ball. You are King Henry.
Yeah.
That is where I don't put that as much on Lamar. There have been moments where I would, but I put that more on Harbaugh to be like, bro, that was a bad call. What are we doing?
We know NFL quarterbacks will overcome, the great ones, overcome deficiencies with their defense, deficiencies with their special teams. And if they're having a bad game, they will teams to victory. Like Tom Brady won Super Bowls, sometimes with not the greatest defense, sometimes a great defense, sometimes not the strongest defense. Patrick Mahomes, that was the big knock on the Chiefs, that their defense wasn't as strong in times. So that happens. Great quarterbacks take you to that next level past the defense. The NFC, the Commanders last year, Jaden Daniels, our run defense was dog shit. We were ranked 30th in the NFL, and we got to the NFC Championship because of our quarterback. That is massive. That is important. So I think Lamar constantly being on the other end of these things just signifies that he doesn't have that extra play, that extra thing that you need to have to get you over this. He's a great quarterback. Great. But
I 100% hear you. My only reason why I give Lamar just the littlest bit of a pass is because he wasn't then making crappy plays.
No.
Again, they were good. They were about to score again, even if it was a field goal. They were about to score again, and Henry fumbled. That was not on Lamar. He was.
No, I agree. But
you know
people blame him for the game as nonsense.
No, but like, what more do you want him to do? He put up 40 points. You know what I'm saying? He threw 2 touchdowns and ran in one, like a 209 yards off of 14 and 19 passing with 2 touchdowns in the air, and ran for 70 and a touchdown. Like, he literally did his job. What this feels like to me, this reminds me so much of that Cowboys Broncos game of Romo versus Peyton Manning. And Romo actually outdueled Peyton Manning. However, Peyton Manning's interception came right before halftime that the Cowboys scored on. Romo's, unfortunately, came in the fourth quarter, which then they were able to run out the clock at that particular point. But Romo had put up 550 yards, like 5 touchdowns through the air, only 1 interception. Like, what? At that point, that's not on him. Why did the defense allow Peyton Manning to score 5 touchdowns and a field goal? What are you doing?
It's always on the quarterback. It is always, you know how it is. It is always, it's the most important position on the field.
Rocha,
it is the quarterback.
If this was the showdown and we were on a team and you literally did everything, and the only thing that you had me on the team for was to deal with MCU questions and black movies. And they go, who is the star of the Friday series? He was also a rapper with NWA. And I go, oh, Ice-T, bro, you would slap the shit out of me. You had one job. That's why Koo is on the chopping block right now, and they're bringing in other kickers to the Falcons.
Yeah,
That's why Moody has also apparently been cut from the 49ers, because you have one job. The defense is one job. Just slow Josh down enough that Lamar putting up 40 points is enough, bro. Like,
Shanahan's reaction when Moody missed that first field goal, and like he was like, he wanted to lose it. And I'll tell you this, I noticed something watching the games this weekend. Like when guys fuck, it's the first time I noticed, maybe it's happened the last couple of years, but the first time I noticed it, I watched a number of people mess up over the weekend, and immediately their teammates came over, slapped them in the head, and were like trying to soothe them and say it's okay, you'll get them next time. Like, I was really surprised by that, because I grew up at a time when if you fucked up, your teammates walked the fuck away from you and did not touch you or talk to you at all and were mad at you. I saw a lot of teammates walk up to these kickers and console them, and I was really surprised. And coaches, I was really surprised by that. It's a new NFL. It's a new NFL, and that, you know, for better or worse, you know.
I think it also just depends. I think if you were perfect all day and you shank something, I think that's more to be like, man, you'll get him. I think also there was a rookie kicker. I can't remember which team who missed like 2 or 3 kicks. Was it? I don't remember what team it was. I have to think about it. I also can see the teammates being like, "It's okay, bro. You'll be fine. You got this. Like, take a deep breath. It's game 1. You'll do this." Like, that makes sense to me. But yeah, if you miss an all game, motherfucker, I got punched in the mouth. Why can't you make a goddamn kick? Like, that's like, I don't blame somebody getting out of that. But a rookie's first game, I'll give him a little benefit. What was it? The Browns? Maybe it was the Browns.
Andre Schmidt, something like that. Yeah.
I felt bad for the kid. I was like, you got first team. Like, Shador went over to try and cheer him up, be like, bro, it's all right, man. Like, keep your head up, because again, it's your first game and you were doing flawlessly, and something happened. Something broke your brain. Yeah. And now you can't do it. So
I think that's why they waived Moody. I think they knew that guy's broken. There's no fixing that guy. He's done. The 49ers, when they waived Moody, because they know he's done. He's broken. He's mentally broken. And maybe he'll come back on another team, whatever, but he's got to do some thinking.
Well, quick stuff just to throw out there because when I was just on ESPN, I don't know if you saw it, the NFL says that Jalen Carter's ejection service is 1 game suspension, so he will not be held another game.
I know. I read that before we started the show, and I was like, of course, because the Eagles are playing the Chiefs, and the last thing they want is Jalen Carter suspended.
They don't want to ruin their ratings. If they were smart, they could have been like, we need to investigate. What do you need to investigate? He spit on it. Like, I could see it. We all saw it. We mentioned Kittle and I are Moody being waived. And then lastly, Tyreek Hill has been accused of domestic wife by his estranged wife again, apparently.
Yeah. The Dolphins are apparently low-key shopping him around. But I don't know what team takes on his drama.
Especially with this coming out as of today. It'll be interesting to see. I think what should probably happen is if the Chiefs want to become relevant again, since you lost Worthy, and they said it's day to day. So that's good. But if you're just like worried now because Rasheed out for 6 games and all that.
Yeah. I think you could go to the Chiefs, back to the Chiefs. That's very possible. Or the Patriots. The Patriots have always been the place that
I would say it. See if the Chiefs can make some crazy magic happen.
Yeah. And
convince somehow that the Vikings would never do this, but convince, yo, man, Justin, you in your prime, baby. You want to get a ring. Can you imagine that's the Randy Moss to the Patriots trade all over again?
If they had lost
Justin Jefferson with Patrick Mahomes throwing in the ball, that would be insane.
If they had lost last night, I would say maybe. But that kid showed resolve to come back.
I think that's the only reason that's probably not going to happen is because JJ pulled that out. But, I thought that was interesting. I was like,
JMB says something. You're the old man now yelling at how back in the day players were hardcore, not soft rock. Don't misinterpret what I said. I'm just saying I've never seen it quite the way it is now. I felt good about it. I was very happy to see them consoling these guys, but I also know it's a brutal game. So you've got to walk that line where, like, I can keep consoling you, but after a while, if you keep messing up, I can't have you on the team. So that's the only thing I was saying. Maybe I didn't follow up by saying that I appreciated seeing that from players. I'm just saying that's a different NFL now, and I wonder if coaches have to kind of limit themselves with their anger because I think Shanahan wanted to kill Jake Moody after that miss. So we'll see. Anyway, we got to get to these questions, Winston. We have a limited time left here. Matt Thomas says, "Oh shit, Winston switched teams. Laughed my ass off."
No. All this is for those that knew, I used to do Law and Order Sports Victim Unit.
Yeah,
I just use this as a workout shirt at this point. So that's the only reason that this was on. This was not because I give a shit about the Chargers. I really don't. I find it funny that they beat the Chiefs, but no. I'm not in any way, shape, or form jumping ship as much as I hate Jerry Jones at this point.
And Matt, don't try to divert attention away from your Browns who lost.
Remember what he said that the Browns owned Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow tried to give you the game and you couldn't take it. Doug Developer, no questions this time. Just throwing out love and support. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys rock. Thank you, Doug. Codeman123434 says, "Is that a Herbert shirt? Hell yeah, Winston. Bolt up the Chargers are back, baby."
Again, yes, it is. It was a workout shirt. I do not support the Chargers and their organization. I do think they are better than they were over the last few years. I think
I think
Jim. I think Jim is actually helping turn Herbert into what everybody kept saying about the raw talent that he has.
Yep.
I think we're beginning to see him finally take that step up. And I saw some analysts being like, "He's Peyton Manning. He just needed the right situation." Well, they were talking about
what
numbers of what he's been doing as a passer, but he just has not had the right team or coaching staff around him to do it. And now he's got to show me something. You can't just say that. You need to actually show me something now. But
I mean, I would argue Harbaugh resuscitated Alex Smith's career and turned Colin Kaepernick into a legitimate quarterback until he left. And then when he left, it's not a surprise. You know what happened. All right. Free Pancakes says, "Did you all see the racist commentary on Julia Roberts after the Hunt press?" Yes, we spoke about it earlier, brother. You can go back. I'll put time codes up on this, but we did speak about it. So just go back and find that in the show. Thank you very much for the super chat. Scalisi says, "Did you guys hear about the Greg Sipes WB animation on firing? He got canned after announced he had Parkinson's. Been voicing Beast Boy since the mid-2000s. Now, Sal, you're leaving off other pertinent information, which is that Greg has been posting some really weird shit about health, about drinking your own urine, there was a lot that he posted that was like super health conspiracy, RFK Jr. type stuff. So yes, if in a vacuum, if they let him go because he announced he had Parkinson's, that is horrible. However, if they looked at some of his social media, and as Winston said earlier, social media matters to these companies and it's going to follow you. And the company said, listen, we don't want to align ourselves with these points of views. Then they have every right as an employer to let him go. But I don't know the full story. But that also came out after the initial stories. Winston, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, when a source close to the animated series Teen Titan Go was in the process of being recast due to creative differences, and this decision wasn't made in response to his health diagnosis revelation. Edition deadline hears that Cripes was offered to voice a different character on the show for which she had already recorded lines for in a development deal for potentially starring vehicle in the future. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there was some other stuff. Like I stand by it that the crazy thing is, man, optics are always everything.
Yeah.
So is there a level of, okay, fine, hold off on firing him for a week or two after that or something like that? Or if something, I don't know, but it sounds like there was other stuff there. So
yeah, he shared several conspiracy theories about vaccines on social media. He also claimed that he got Parkinson's after, quote, they released COVID on us. And he threw it out there for sympathy, his firing here. So, I mean, there's stuff to look at. He said in a post about using coffee enemas to treat Parkinson's, quote, yet I can still perform as Beast Boy because he's in me. I create his voice, personality, the way he talks. So yeah, there's more to look at here. And I think the people have a right to, or a company has a right to go like, we don't want to align ourselves with this stuff. So,
oh boy, man.
Yeah, I know it's yeah. Matt Sister McCall says RFK Jr. will never take my Skittles, buying in bulk. Wiley Todd says, bolt up, baby. My Chargers look good and Herbert looked good out there. Travis Bull touchdown celebration was the stupidest thing I've seen in a while. I didn't see that. Travis Hunter, did he have a Bull touchdown? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Did Travis Kelsey? Because Kelsey had a touchdown, but Kelsey also
maybe
Maybe the bull touchdown is when he barreled through Xavier Worthy and injured his current #1 receiver. I don't know, but I just.
Oh, yeah, that's when you know you're done. In week 1, if you injure one of your own players, I feel like it's not your year. It's not your year. Fantastic. Neither Romo or Prescott are Danny White. I'm old. Oh, stop it. Danny White, who blew NFC Championship games. I'm old enough to remember Danny White and Dexter Manley knocking him out of the NFC Championship game. I'll tell you what, I finished off the Dallas Cowboys documentary, Winston. That last 2 episodes were super fucking depressing, but I finished them off.
They were good though, right?
They
Like
were good.
That's why I got so mad about the Micah trade, because there was some goodwill that came into my body about him and Jimmy realizing this idea of people just being stubborn, letting their egos get in the way. And I ruined something special with my friend, and we could have been dominant for years and years and years,
right?
Because of my ego, to then turn around a week later and let his ego ship off a generational talent yet again. So I just,
I hear you, man. I hear you. Let's see. Streamlabs real quick. Hey, this is Fredtastic314. Hey, Spillers. Showing support and excited for the NFL this year because as of right now, I see a lot of good football teams who are ready to make serious pushes for the playoffs, including my Cowboys. There you go. Yeah. As I said, I think there's a lot of good teams.
We'll see. I think we are better than people expected. We will see, because I still think like the whole thing is we need to be able to stop the run. Okay, you contained Saquon a little bit. You actually did a pretty good job of containing Saquon every time he played in New York. And not half bad most games against the Eagles. He would just get one off late, and that would be all she wrote. Like if you go back and look at it, it'd be like, oh, they held him to 55 yards until he broke off a 60-yard touchdown because you fell apart. So like, I'm not saying the run defense didn't need to be fixed, but you fully sacrificed your pass rush in the process. So what? Okay. Do you know how many running quarter? Jaden Daniels likes to run. Okay, we're playing the Chiefs at Thanksgiving. Guess who likes to run? Patrick Mahomes. Like, what are we doing? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think you can't take anything away from that game because of the loss of Jalen Carter. Like, I think you can make an assessment yet. So, are the Cowboys good? Did they find a fantastic new running back that they can get behind? We'll see. I've got him stashed on the waiver wire right now to see if he clears waivers. But we'll see. I'll tell you, this is honest truth. It's not because of Winston. It's not because of that documentary. It's because of Dak. I'm kind of cheering for the Cowboys a little bit. And I know as a Commanders fan, it's crazy for me to say that. But, you know, back in the day, I had a soft spot for Emmitt Smith. And I have a little bit of a soft spot for Dak for what he's been through. And I watch those Lowe's commercials, and I kind of get a smile on my face for this guy. He's got a good energy.
I said this about you and Jaden Daniels. It's weird for me to go, bro, I'm cheering for Jaden Daniels. The team I hate the most in the NFL, but the kid is so nice. He's so good at what he does. He's humble. He's hardworking. He trying to out here and court Juju. I love that. Not Jaden's mama constantly like, you better get away from that fast little girl. That fast little girl is just as talented at what she does as Jaden is. I think it'll be fine, mama. Chill out. Like,
they're gonna have
this literally love in football and basketball. Okay, chill out. But I'm getting to that place with Jalen Hurts. I don't like it as much because I don't like the idea of the Eagles winning Super Bowls. But said his piece of Trump. I'm too busy. Sorry, no thanks. Where's his Kango hats? Got his black leather just with his wifey doing his thing. Like he's a cool dude. So I'm like, shit.
You respect
like you. I hate your team, but I like you. You
know, Sirianni, but I like Jalen. Yeah, I know. Fantastico says, also, stupid people are going to be stupid. They can't stop themselves. At least it makes it easier to identify. Also, nothing surprises me anymore with this administration and the people who support the cover-up of pedophiles. Yeah, I agree, man. It's unsettling. Matt,
so, speaking of you loving Dak, real quick.
Okay.
You know he dating a fine-ass Latina, too. That's his wifey.
Oh, I don't get involved in judging the attractiveness of the wives of NFL players, but if he is doing that, which I think we covered last year, more power to him.
You don't watch Soy Sauce Sports, where he always like respectfully. Like,
I like to get involved. People get crazy about that. Matt Thomas says, listen, I told you it wouldn't be a blowout, but goddamn, what do the Browns have to do for a kicker? Anyways, how about Downton Abbey? Either of you seeing it? Comes out Friday. LOL. Had my screening last night. No, there was no screening in here in San Diego for it, at least from the organizations I'm a part of. So, but yes, I'm a big Downton Abbey fan. I'll admit it. I'm looking forward to it. My friend went to see it in DC, and she said she was in tears by the end. So I'm looking forward to it. I've loved the series. Don't come for me. All right. Samo says, who is the bigger piece of shit of NFL MAGA player, Brett Favre or Antonio Brown? I would say Aaron Rodgers. That's because he's currently playing.
I'm going to go with Favre because one of them actually then did harm to the public.
Yeah, true.
Like Antonio was constantly running his mouth.
Yes.
I can't stand him, but it is what it is. Aaron Rodgers, same thing, running his mouth. But Favre straight up was a part of a whole thing to steal money.
Yeah.
Like money for poor folks. So 1,000% Brett Favre.
Agree. Matt's back again. Matt says, hey, Winston, you can finish that Twilight watch free right now as they are playing nonstop. The Twilight YouTube is a marathon for a full week, 24/7. All you, brother. There you go. He also says, fuck Baker Mayfield and fuck Deshaun Watson. I hate that a receiver from the Ohio State University has to catch passes from that imp and makes him look good. My hatred for him stems from pressure interactions. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was clearly your organization. You quarterbacks. Like you have flashes here and there, but like look literally how you're treating Shador.
Yeah.
I'm glad he made the team and he's on the third string like that. But like you guys have a habit. There's a reason why you have your curse where it's the same quarterback jersey and you just keep adding a new name and crossing one out and adding a new name. This is it. This is it for real. This is it for real. This is it for real. And then you break them, every single one of them.
Yeah.
So no.
Why you want to blame the players, Matt? It's all about your organization. Like, what the hell? He also says, I hope my Browns make you eat your words, please. They're going to win 6 games, maybe, because they looked good on Sunday, and that was without having Judkins, a dumbass. They were fun and bullied the Bungles.
I'm trying to see. Let's see. They're about to go.
You couldn't take the
I'm
game.
Say they're about to go 0-5 to start the year, bro.
Probably.
You're not beating the Ravens. You're not beating the Packers. The only one that you might be able to pull off, you might get 2 games in the Lions and Vikings. How bad was that? Was that a fluke with the Lions? Are they really that bad? And then can JJ keep it up? Like, is the rookie element going to get to him? But you are definitely losing these next 2 games. So you look like you're starting at best 2-3, at worst 0-5.
Yeah, good point. Good point. We had a couple more super chats and we got to go. No, we got to go, Winston. So real quick, Reggie Brown says, Bianca versus AJ Lee is a future WrestleMania event. Love to see it. I would love to see that. AJ is it's so great to have her back. Are you monitoring that? Any kind of comments on that? Or are you good ones? Okay. All right. Darren Wright says Chase Brown looked good for the Bengals. Yeah, but Joe Burrow did
he? Did he look good? Because the boy was 21 carries for 43 yards. Yes, he got a touchdown. He was averaging 2 yards per carry, and his longest was an 8-yard run. I don't know if he looked that good. Those numbers do not speak to it. I did not watch that game in full, but those numbers do not speak well for Mr. Brown.
113 yards passing. Joe Burrow. That's disgusting.
I mean, the one thing I will give it, division game, and the Browns defense has been their strong suit. So fine, but
still.
Yeah.
All right, that's everything. There you go. It's all Streamlabs, all super chats, all the topics. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you for the lively chat. Well over 200 of you joining us for a majority of it. Winston, let people know where they can find you. What you got going on, brother, man?
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms, here on YouTube, on Twitch, all that good stuff. I did a Blurred breakdown yesterday. We discussed the Street Fighter full cast teaser, which was a lot of fun. I've talked about all sorts of stuff, but my brain is slipping right now. So go and check that out on the replay. You will see me on Capes and Cows on Friday over on the Christian Harloff channel. I also did a review or reaction with Christian, which I don't know when it's up, but keep an eye out because that should be up soon. I'll be back here next Tuesday and every Tuesday. Lessons coming up. And then other than that, just keep an eye out on my channel as I got other stuff dropping this week as well.
Boom. There you go. Winston A. Marshall. Follow him. As for me, follow me at The Rocha Says everywhere on social media. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. We are 200 away from 40,000 subscribers. Please subscribe down below, hit that bell button, leave your comments on everything. And don't forget that we also have the podcast channel. Subscribe to that as well. If you just want to listen to me at Winston and not see our pretty faces, you can do that there as well. And all the shows. All right. Thanks everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And
all I was gonna say super quick. Speaking of things that are happening, my Out of the Theater reaction for The Longest Walk will be out later this evening. So the long walk. Excuse me.
The Long Walk. Yeah. Good film. I liked it. I hope you like it too, Winston. All right. We'll see. Peace, everybody.